Annie here on a Monday morning. Good morning to you. A task force for cutting federal spending led by Elon Musk. Here it is, number 3. Do you support it? All adults at 42%, opposed 53%. If you pop on down the line there, Democrats are 90% against it.
Wow.
Wonder how that's going to shake out in time, Kaylee.
Yeah, I think this is where, Democrats use the argument you must use a scalpel here. That's the argument they're using. And he's saying we need to blow up the system and fix the problems along the way. And we'll see how that pans out. I think the polling will be very important on this. But a lot of these arguments resonate. I think the arguments about the spending that's superfluous, we get the cherry-picked items each day. And we could say they're cherry-picked, but they're across all agencies. That deeply resonates with the American people. So I think there's going to be this polling battle that pans out. And give it a month or two, and we'll see where the American people land.
And it could be a moment for philanthropy to really step up. I think one thing that has been surprising is you look at some of these foreign aid programs, right? And you think, oh, wow, let's say the Gates Foundation is getting a ton of great press for all the good work that they're doing. And then you find out that it's 80% funded by the federal taxpayer. Now, you might think that's a really good program, but the question would be, does that mean that federal taxpayer dollars should go to it? And that's how I think this could play out a little bit, too.
Sure, precisely. And when you start thinking of this in terms of national security, the debt that we have, $36 trillion, that's a huge national security situation. And for people who don't care so much about that, when you think about $55 billion that went to illegal immigrant benefits, and you start quantifying that in terms of the average salary, which is somewhere around $57,000, this all adds up very quick. And we're not talking about the tax bill Americans are paying. We're talking about whole salaries, 1,141 American salaries, just in benefits to illegal immigrants.
Okay, Mark Cuban, no friend of Donald Trump. I think we can say he's a pretty fair critic, right? Here he is going after Democrats, saying that they can't sell their own message.
The Democrats can't sell where Donald Trump can sell. If you gave the Democrats a dollar bill and said you can sell these for 50 cents, they would hire 50 people to decide if they really to try to figure out how to do it, and then would not know how to sell a dollar bill for 50 cents. If you gave it to Donald Trump and said, sell this dollar bill for $2, he'd figure out a way, right? He'd tell you that $2 bill is huge.
Okay, so to your point then, Kaylee, they're going to have to sell this.
Right.
Ultimately, and they're going to have to convince people that it's effective in what they're doing.
And there's such a dearth of fresh ideas. I'm just struck. He's exactly right. Chuck Schumer thought that he came up with the general thrust of the 2026 message as outlined in Politico, and it was about the reconciliation bill going through Congress. And here it is. The Republican goal is to give billionaire buddies a tax break and have you, the American people, pay the cost. That's 2016 Bernie Sanders. I mean, we've heard this before. They need something fresh. It's the same old tired talking points. They need fresh faces. They need fresh messaging.